I've been living independently for a while now, and I've learned a lot of useful tips and tricks to make the college and just generally adulting experience a lot easier. So I'm going to be sharing those in today's video. And no, these are not going to be those absolutely useless and ridiculous 5-minute crafts type hacks, nor will they be the really basic please do your homework advice that you've seen literally everywhere else on the internet. No, as I promised you in the title, these will be actually useful and not basic life hacks. So let's get started. I've divided my hacks into a variety of categories, and I will put timestamps in the description so you can skip around if you'd like to. And our first category is school. If you prefer to annotate your textbooks or just regular books using an erasable highlighter or pen, maybe because you want to be able to resell a textbook or return your rental copy without any fines, you probably know the absolute tedious process of flipping through every single page and trying to erase everything with that little tiny nub on the back of each pen. Well, the way these actually work is that the ink gets erased by the heat, which normally is generated by the friction of that little nubby eraser. But if you want to erase everything in an entire book, just chuck the book in the microwave for a little bit and everything will disappear. Next, I'm sure of us have also suffered through the millions of ads on the typical bibliography generator website. Well, everyone's favorite web-based document processor now has its own built-in citation generator and inserter feature. It's in the tools menu. I'll show you how to use it on the screen, and it's pretty self-explanatory. I think those are the only unique study tips or hacks that I've never talked about on this channel before, but I make a lot of study advice related videos, so if you'd like more school related life hacks or whatever, just check out the rest of my channel. Enough self-promo. Our next category is personal finance. I do have an entire video about this called The Student's Guide to Personal Finance as a quick little beginner primer if you have no idea what anything I'm talking about in this section refers to, but for those of you with a little bit more knowledge about this topic, let's get into the hacks. First, filing taxes is very hard, and a lot of tax filing softwares claim that they have a free option available, but then you go through their online quiz and it'll keep recommending to you that you take an option that costs money. Instead of jumping through all these website hoops and their little questionnaires, just visit the IRS site directly. And this website, which I will link in the description below, will directly direct you to the free filing softwares that you qualify for. The next feature I highly recommend you take advantage of is setting your credit card to autopay. Pretty much every major credit card provider will have this option, and you just enroll in it and make sure you select pay full balance every month. You never have to stress about making sure your payments are on time. It'll just pay for itself and you'll keep building that A+ credit score. Just in case you didn't know this though, credit scores are not measured in GPA points or A's and B's. It's based on a number that is somewhere in the hundreds, but that's just other information. That's not really a life hack, just good to know. Related to automatic credit card payments, you can also automate pretty much every other aspect of your personal finance. Like you can automatically transfer money from your checking to your savings account, or you can enroll in automatic investing for your retirement account. You'll probably need to search for a tutorial depending on your specific financial institutions, but pretty much every major provider will have this option available. And lastly, make sure you take advantage of student discounts whenever you possibly can. And speaking of student discounts, this segment of today's video is sponsored by Verizon, who has a pretty spectacular student discount to offer for y'all. With the Verizon Unlimited plan, the student discount will save you $25 a month with 2 lines and $10 a month with 1 line. On top of that, a bunch of subscription streaming services are also included for free on some of these plans. You can get Disney+, Hulu, and ESPN+ included for free on the Get More and the Play More plans. And on top of that, Apple Music is included for free on the Get More plan. So check out the link in the description for this awesome student discount. Thank you Verizon for sponsoring this segment of the video, and let's go back to your regularly scheduled life hack content. Apparently, young adults don't know how to do laundry, at least according to the giant poster in my dorm laundry room. I get it though, a lot of us just don't grow up having to operate laundry machines, so here are some of my hacks for doing that. First of all, store your small, easy to lose items like socks and nowadays face masks in a little mesh bag. This keeps everything together in one larger and harder to lose unit. That way you don't, just leave one sock abandoned in the dryer. Another sock hack to extend the lifetime of the elastic band around the ankle is to actually not ball up your socks. I used to think forming this little inverted flippity flopped around ball was the ultimate life hack of sock storage, but ultimately this just weakens the elastic over time and makes it more likely for that sock to slip down around your ankle while it's in your shoe. The absolute worst feeling in the world. So instead, I just put my matching socks together and perhaps fold them and then put them in my dresser drawer. Another folding hack that I learned from Marie Kondo is to try to store your clothing as if it's a horizontal bookshelf where you can just pluck out each garment instead of just putting everything in a pile. Besides being more space efficient because you can make better use of that vertical drawer space, it also makes it easier for you to take things out. Since, if you have everything stacked on top of each other like geologic strata, and you want to take something out from the bottom, you have to just rifle through and mess up everything else that's on top of it. This is no longer an issue if you just store everything in these little architecturally, structurally sound packets that stand up by themselves. Lastly, if you're in a communal living space like an apartment building or a dorm building where you don't have your own personal laundry machines, you just share a bunch of them with everyone else that lives in your communal space, make sure you take notes on which dryers and washers actually work. Because one of the worst feelings in the world is when you come back after 45 minutes prepared for a nice, warm, dry load of towels and socks, and instead it's still damp. But now it's warm damp, which is somehow worse than cold damp. This next category is called room maintenance, but it's mostly just about how to stay clean and organized and maybe make your room look a little bit cuter. One great way to store jewelry while also making a little bit of cute decor is to hang your necklaces up using push pins. This way, you can display these shiny, beautiful things and prevent them from getting tangled up in a jewelry box. Next, every time you shower, leave your shower door or your shower curtain open to let all that moist air dissipate from inside the shower. Letting everything just air out and dry helps prevent mold and mildew and makes sure it smells better the next time you go to shower. This next tip is pretty specific to a dorm or an apartment that you'll be living in for less than 1 year. And that is, whenever you buy something new and it comes in a pretty large, good-sized box, make sure you flatten it out by just cutting all the tape marks and squooshing it. Make sure you save that box for moving out, because every new thing you buy for your dorm or apartment is also something you'll have to take out of it once it's time to leave. And moving boxes and stuff can be expensive, so just take advantage of the free boxes you're already receiving. I mean, I guess they're not free because you paid for the item, but keep that box, make good use of it. Something else that may be kind of obvious if you grew up in an immigrant household where you had an entire drawer full of balled up grocery bags, but every time you go grocery shopping or just go to any store where they're gonna give you a bag for free, make sure you save the bag because you can use it as a trash can liner. This helps the environment because you're reducing waste by not buying trash bags and you're reusing that other plastic bag that would have previously gone to landfill. Also, you get to save a bit of money because you don't have to buy trash bags. Next, here is a loose guideline to how to tell what's wrong with your houseplants. Basically, if the leaves are turning brown and crunchy, it means that it's not getting enough water, it's too dry. But if the leaves are turning yellow, it means it's getting too much water. Yes, you can indeed overwater plants. Of course, these are like general rules and will vary depending on the plant, but it's a good thing to look out for, just in case your houseplants are always dying. Last but not least in this category is a quick and easy way to remember to do things that are regularly reoccurring tasks. Like, when the heck was the last time I changed my toothbrush or changed out my 2-week length contacts? And I do this by writing down the date that I last changed this thing. In this example, it's my contacts on my bathroom mirror. You could also do this on a whiteboard or a notebook, but I find the bathroom mirror is a good place to put it because you have to look at it pretty much every day because I use the bathroom once a day at least, I hope. Technology is something most of us are pretty good at, but there are always a lot of little hidden shortcuts, hacks, and Easter eggs, so here are the 3 that I use the absolute most. First, you can set up your email accounts to automatically forward mail to another email account. I have quite a few different email accounts. I have one for business for this YouTube channel. I have one from my university with that @ucla.edu official ending. And instead of checking through 5 different email inboxes every single day, I just set them all up to forward to my one main personal email. Additionally, Control-Shift-T is my most used keyboard shortcut besides copy and paste. What this does is reopen the last tab that you closed, and I find this super useful to recover tabs if I've accidentally closed something important or maybe I closed something important 3 tabs ago and I just want to pop it back open without having to tediously search for what that website was. And last but not least, this one is pretty relevant to the time frame, like right now when this video is being posted, but if you live sometime in the distant future when we no longer have to wear face masks and the pandemic is completely over, I'm so happy for you. I hope that I'm there someday soon. But here is how you get your phone Face ID to recognize you even when you're wearing a mask. Basically, you want to set up an alternate profile on your Face ID, but when you're setting it up, wear a mask on half of your face only. I taped it on so that it would like stay up. And then your phone will finish the scan and you should be able to unlock your phone while you're still wearing a mask. And that is everything for today's video. I hope you found these life hacks helpful in some way, and if you have others you want to share with everyone, please do grace us with your advice in the comments below. I upload new videos about student life every week, and you can visit my Instagram, my TikTok, and my second channel for some other, sometimes school-related content. See you next time!